Today we are going to be building something for Loser Stays On. And I think over the course of next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to build 2 or 3 monsters for this. And we're going to make them fight to the death. And then I'll enter whatever one is the worst, i.e. the best, in the tournament. So Loser Stays On is a very specific format that we'll get into a little bit once I actually start choosing my monster. Alright, let's take a look at the nonsense garbage we're going to be doing. So if you weren't here yesterday, we were talking about the new Loser Stays On tournament. We got one person who's already entered a monster. But Loser Stays On is basically, it is a tournament where the goal is to lose. You don't want to win, you want to lose. But basically, 3,000 stat floor, you can't have less than 3,000 stats combined. 200 minimum per stat, so you can't really just go like one life and oh, I've lost, I got hit once. And then every point in life above 500 lowers the stat floor by 1 point because life is the best defensive stat in a format like this. So I gave people incentive to like dump a lot of points into life and they get a bonus for it. So say you have 990 life, that's 499 stats above 500. So it takes 499 off of the total cap. So if you really wanted to, if you go 999 life in this format, you only have to put about 700 points into the rest of your build at that point. So you can do some interesting stuff with that. You need 4 techniques minimum. So you got to at least get 2 techs on air entry. This is to stop you from just running the basics on a monster like Pixie, because that shit is super boring. The greater of your power and intelligence stats must correspond with whichever type of tech you have more of. So, if you have 4 power techs and 2 intelligence techs, your intelligence cannot be equal to or greater than your power. If you have 4 power techs, you need to put more points into power than intelligence. This stops you from, like, for example, having Pixie and putting 200 points into power and then getting Kiss and putting 999 points into intelligence. But anyway, the first monster I think is going to be very good is Ducken. So I'm going to make myself a Ducken. I'm going to make myself a Blocken because I came up with a funny name for it. A thing I've seen people talking about in the Discord. Explosion does a shit ton of damage. It does 60 damage and the recoil is 60 as well. That's insane. The only thing in the game that does more recoil of this is Raki's Explosion, which does 70 to him and 70 to his opponent. And that's also like the second strongest attack in the entire game. So that's a big one. Ducken has a lot of really interesting options for making a crappy build. Big Missile and Missile are both like very, very inaccurate. Minus 22. Spend 40 guts and like on like a 72% chance to miss instantly. Probably a little bit more because you've got a fast guts rate. Your opponent may not. Frantic Beam is actually a pretty bad opener, just in general. Not only are you looking for techs when you're trying to build out your monster for this, not only are you looking for techs that are like, oh, this could lose me the game, like Explosion or whatever, you're looking for shit that is like just functionally really, really bad in a normal sense. Because if that shit will lose you the game when everyone's trying to win, it's certainly not going to be a bad pick in a format like this. I don't think I'm going to be getting any intelligence techs on Ducken. I think what I'm going to be getting is Explosion, because that's the reason you would run Ducken. And then Beak Thrust and Flare Slap, because you start with them. And I'm going to get Falling Beak, because this is one of the most putrid fucking techs in this game. This shit is so bad. Every time I see someone run this, I'm like, they're trying to be funny, or they're new. That's the only reason you would ever get Falling Beak. It is like objectively one of the worst techs in the game. It's like Mochi Pedal Swirl bad. It might be worse. I want to name it Block Rock and Beats, but that shit doesn't fit. And I couldn't come up with like a permutation of it that like made sense. Block Rock and Beat. It's time for another Block Rock and Beat. I guess we go with that. But yeah, so we're gonna get 2 techs with this guy. We're gonna be getting Falling Beak, because that shit sucks. Block Rock and Beak might be... that's better. We'll change that real quick. Block Rock and Beak. I don't know if you guys are old enough to know that song. Most of you are my age. Let's take a look at Blocken real quick. He's got disc stones in the middle of him. Did you know that? It's little discs. He's made of discs. So I think Swim is the play. Swim's like the thing we gotta be doing. We gotta make sure we have a tiny bit of life left over so we can do the 2 errant trees without having to worry about it. I'm gonna look this up again. Falling Beak, 250 power and speed. Well, we're already there. We can already get it. We don't have a great chance, but this might be the best time to actually go. Look at him waddle. Let him do a little waddle. Preparing for the upcoming tournament with this mon? Yeah. He died. GG's. Also, we got Falling Beak on our first try, which is hype. I don't actually know if we got it, but it's very unlikely we got Boomerang instead. Are you serious, dude? That is so crazy. Boomerang's actually, like, maybe not a bad pickup. Like, the move is also really, really ass. But part of me being able to dump 699 or like 700 points into intelligence is I don't have to worry about ever using an intelligence attack. Come on, buddy. I believe in you. You can do it. No. By success, I mean failure. That's okay. We got the tech, so we're probably going to stop it. What's the purpose of this particular monster? We have the ability to build him very, very badly as a joke. We can train him poorly as a joke. Okay, did we get it? We got Falling Beak, hell yeah. This is ass. This is such a bad tech. I love it. So this is going to be kind of a slow grind. I really don't know what I can do here. I think my first goal is to raise intelligence. My intelligence gain is not my highest. My power is my highest. But yeah, I think meditate. And then, Dominoes is probably the play. Because Dominoes is my strongest stat, right? I got a 4 in power and a 3 in everything else. Remember, I gotta keep I gotta keep skill at 200. So I have to make sure we don't go too crazy on it, you know? My skill is gonna get maxed out here long before my intelligence is, but that's okay. It's also funny being baby stage for this. The only reason I want to stay baby stage is to make sure I don't go over on power or speed. And then, or on speed or skill, and then the rest, like, doesn't matter at all. Making the worst monster I can, it's literally just how I build monsters before I learned how to play. I mean, the worst monster ever just has, like, no stats, and then you put them in against monsters that are way better, right? But this is within parameters. The goal for this is for a tournament, and the monster has to have 3,000 stats minimum. And there's a couple other things, but we're working with those parameters. Difference between worst monster and worst monster, that's essentially straight out of a disc stone? Yeah. No, exactly. It's like when I was making the Pixie, and that was like the worst competitive monster. That was like the monster with the lowest potential to win in a competitive tournament. This is like the inverse of that. I'm trying to make a monster with the least amount of potential to win in a competitive tournament when everyone else is like also trying to do the same thing, you know? Chemical Brothers reference for a name, yeah. I'm a big, like, fan of big beat stuff. That's like what I grew up with, right? My parents never listened to electronic music, but, you know, I had video games in the 90s. And that shit was all big beat and, like, jungle. Like, on all the Burnout soundtracks, not Burnout, Wipeout, and sports games up until, like, the mid-2000s didn't have, like, any, like, pop music on it. It was all that shit. And then someone at EA was like, why don't we, have you heard about this new band called the Caesars? Let's put them on everything. And then it went from there. I got 190 skill. We're getting close. I don't want to go much higher. Can we get much higher? I should enter a tournament soon. These stats are real bad, though, to the point where I don't want to fight anybody because I don't think I can win. But I also don't want my skill to go over. So I think I might actually just stop doing meditate drills there. God, this build is so ass. I might not even, like, beat rank E. Okay, I do a little bit of damage. You want to see the funny attack? That's why we're here, baby. Tick, 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 tick. Oh, we hit him. Hell yeah. Can we win without getting a KO? That's the real goal here. I guess it doesn't matter. We can just tank his fame later. Ah, whatever. 92 damage on the crit, whatever. Tick, 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 tick. Alright, so we haven't missed that yet. That feels bad. Hold on, can we find the Nats range? There we go. GG's. We can't lose this. I gotta beat Oakley Man. Sucks that it came down to this. Damn, fight up for 2 attacks? You hate to see it. Can he miss? Dude, perfect. We didn't even get the KO. So, we're gonna not get very good fame gains here, I don't think. 11, I think 20 is the max you can get there. Okay, so skill didn't go over. Beautiful. Do I do one more, and then if I get intelligence if I get skill when I get the rank C tournament, I just reset? I think that's probably the play, right? It's not great. Huge waste of time and energy, but probably the best I can do. I hit 200 on first try, it's a sign. We're going with it. Is this Ducken bad because of the breed, or are you raising it badly? The breed is bad, but I am raising it badly on purpose, as a joke. But yeah, so skill's done. We're never gonna go above 200 skill. We are gonna have a little bit more speed than most monsters will, even though it's only at 200. Did I say 212 skill? So skill's not done. Speed's the only one I want to keep at 200. Everything else I can put a little bit more into. After 4 monsters that's not a heroine, back to your old ways and got freshly born blue hair on the ranch, hell yeah. Dated a girl with blue hair once? It's pretty good. I had blue hair once. I had it bleach blonde and then I dyed it blue one day. Blue hair named pronouns? That's pretty good. I like that our community is like small enough that like people will know you're joking. And no one's gonna make a big deal out of it. But there's definitely communities where it's like that would be like an actual point of contention. Both in the sense that like maybe that dude's being an asshole and like other people looking to like start fights. So again, nothing better to do. But if you made that joke, we'd crucify you. We'd crucify you like a minion. Guys, you're never gonna believe it. But I was being an artist and I was messing around and I ended up making a minion. You guys don't get that reference, it's fine. Mancho gets that reference. So Mancho showed me this TikTok that was like, all these people had like the exact same video. So one of them made it, then the rest of them were copying it. But it was this like AI picture of a minion that had been crucified. And they were all telling the same story with like the exact same like wording. And it was just like an illustrator was messing around and he accidentally made this picture of a minion on a cross. And it's like, one, like, how do you mess around as an artist and like accidentally make a picture? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But they all also started with, if you click off of this video, what are you doing? It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, you're gonna scare like 5-year-olds into watching your video, but no adult is gonna watch that shit. That's, I think the problem with videos online is that you can make money on them. You know, I know it's been a godsend for a lot of people, but the fact that it is like a thing people can make money on has been a net negative for society. You need that shit to be completely devoid of monetary value, and people will stop making the worst shit you've ever seen in your life. Dude, I gotta watch that fucking video. I'm going crazy talking about this, but like, I can't do it justice.
One day, an animator was messing around and he created this picture of a little
One day he was messing around. What does that mean?
Nailed to a cross, and you can.
This may sound a little crazy, but you need to hear this about a minion. There was this animator that was messing around when all of a sudden he created a minion who died on the cross. And
If you scroll away from this video, then what are you doing?
What are you doing? If you scroll away from this video, if you scroll away from the stream, what are you doing?
This is just so amazing. You see, there was this animator who decided to make an illustration of how Jesus died on the cross for you and for me.
So there was this animator, right? And he was messing around one day when he suddenly created a minion who died on the cross. And you can.
If you scroll away from this video, then what are you doing? There was an animator and he was messing around one day when all.
You need to see this. This animator was messing around and he decided.
If you scroll away from this video,
It's just
then
like
what are you
actually the most insane shit. Like what is happening online? I don't know who that's made for, and like it like upsets me. Online slop has like been around for a little while now, and not like oh, this video is bad, I don't like it, like Fred type shit. Like that shit's been around, you know, for 20 years at this point. That stuff was always really, really awful, and everyone knew that, right? But Like, there was like the Finger Family stuff like 10 years ago, and now this is like somehow worse than that. Like, this is worse than Spider-Man and Pregnant Elsa at the park meet Batman and the Hulk. Like, all of that shit. Like, this is worse than that. Here's the thing that kind of struck gold with Legends Arceus, but just can't make the new basis for all games because the whole ecosystem. I think Arceus was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. I never did the post-game stuff. I got to the end. I never got Giratina or the new Genie. I enjoyed it. I put like 100 and some hours into the game, which is like not a lot by most people's standards, but you also don't need to spend 1,000 hours playing every game. It's okay to just be like, I've had my fun, I'm done. Now, something like Pokemon New Snap, you know, I'm putting a good 4-digit number up on that one. Not quite yet, but I do want to get back into it, because that game is sick. I have not had that much fun with a video game in a really long time. What's the reasoning behind 700 gold for int? 'Cause I don't have any intelligence attacks, so it's a dump stat. How much bread do you think this Ducken could eat? I'm gonna say 7. I've told this story before of how I had like the Prima guide for Snap, and I did not have the game. And the only time I played it before I was like fucking 20 years old was once at a Pokemon tournament where I was so engrossed with it that I literally forgot to like do my first match. I think Monster Rancher Snap would go over well. That is way too niche. I would like it, but there would be me and like 4 other people I think that would buy the game. Rail shooter puzzle action is such an insane combo. It's kind of a shame Snap is the only thing like it, but also I get it. I wouldn't know how the hell else to make something else. I think you need the collectible aspect of it, right? You need the like... It's like a Waluigi game, right? It can't exist without the IP and like other games to like inform what it is and what it does. The same way that like Waluigi can't exist without 3 other characters being around. Rail shooter puzzle action cooking rhythm tactics game? Oh my god. Did you change the build at all from what we talked about earlier? Not really, it's on screen there. The one thing I did do is I kind of min-maxed the stats to drop like 36 points from life, because those extra points in skill don't give me an extra % chance to hit, and the same thing with power and intelligence. It doesn't actually turn up my damage at all. Yeah, I think I enter a rank C tournament here. I've got the power for it. My defenses are so bad that it might actually be really difficult to win this until I have like 600, 700 defense. I can just chill for a bit, build up those guts, hit some beak thrusts. Got power? I don't like that. Power, oh wow, 25 damage. Crazy. Can I win this? Beak time. Flutter slaps. Get out of my face. No! No! I'm dead. Rank C is looking a little bit rough. I got injured. We'll come back stronger. Power's about half of where I need it to be. Defense is going to take quite a while, but we're going to be okay. I just need to make sure I don't put life over either. And the problem mostly just being that it's going to require me to do some endures instead of just swimming. It might actually be in my best interest to go all in on defense right now, just so I lower my intelligence by as little as possible. Play the Chow Garden clone. I'm in the Discord, but I haven't played it. The Bobo Bay game, yeah. It's really cute. I really like their posts on Twitter. Name like Bobo Bay, I have to check it out. It's literally just Chow Garden. You know, I'm actually kind of a fan of this like new wave of people who are like unapologetically ripping off other games. I'm glad we're kind of out of an era of people feeling like they're too, and like not in a cynical way, not in like a I'm just gonna do what is popular and make money on it, but in like this game is sick as hell and we need more games like this kind of way. Like Bobo Bay is legitimately just Chow Garden. Windswept is another game I'm excited in that's like almost just Donkey Kong Country 2. Except you get a cute duck and a turtle. How could it not be good if it's like Donkey Kong Country 2? But there's just like, there's nothing cynical about it. It's not like a cash grab. It's like a love letter to those games. You know, like how when PUBG came out, there's a whole bunch of Battlegrounds games. Yeah, I think that shit sucks. I think if you don't have anything new to say, you shouldn't make a game. I think it's okay to just let stuff exist. You're like such a boomer, I genuinely don't get Fortnite. I feel like I gotta play it at some point to like just understand what the deal is. Because like the Battle Royale mode's not the only thing that's going on in it, right? There's a lot more now. I mean, the Battle Royale was never like the first thing. It was the thing they added after PUBG got big. Speaking of Fortnite, did you hear about the Cybertruck that was too buggy for it? I saw the ad. The Cybertruck is now in Fortnite ad. Someone in the town I live in drives a Cybertruck. It's really funny. In Toronto, I haven't seen one, but I did see one driving out west for something. No, when I went to Combo Breaker, I saw one, and I had seen one. I was like outside of the city for work in like the suburbs, and I saw one, but I haven't seen one in Toronto proper. It's like genuinely like impressive how ugly it is. Like I can't actually imagine spending that much money on something like that. If you're gonna spend 100 grand, there are so many like amazing vehicles you can get, right? I almost fucking wrecked my car double taking when I saw it the first time. It's also like very shiny, but in the same way that like your fridge is shiny, and if you don't like wipe it down, there's like fingerprints all over it. If you have like a stainless steel fridge. I don't because, you know, I'm not rich, but I've seen stainless steel fridges and that shit looks gross if you're not constantly wiping it down. So only like 3,000 in the world, and I think they have nearly all been recalled because the accelerator gets stuck and turns into a goddamn supersonic coffin. My favorite thing about the Cybertruck is that they program the trunk to close harder, to like apply more pressure if it feels something is in the way, which is like the funniest thing I think I can imagine as a feature on a vehicle. There are two Cybertrucks in your town that look like PS1 background assets. Yeah, they are. Did you see the thing where somebody, there's an old DOS car design game, and if you make the Cybertruck in it, it has like incredible like aerodynamic stats, and a lot of people are like hypothesizing that somebody literally just copied that design from that DOS game. They were like, this is a thing I made when I was a child, and then Elon's like, yeah, we should make that. Can you imagine someone reaching over, looking in the trunk, and starts closing? Yeah, that happened. People like lost their fingers, and they're like, "What the fuck? What is this?" But like, if it like cut them in half, that's like a Scream kill. That's some shit that would happen in Scream. Right, up to 470 defense. We're getting there. These defense games are not fantastic, but they are very average. Cybertruck. They should add a Cybertruck to Street Fighter, and it just goes mental on everyone's fingers. It's like what is that? Fighters Mega Mix, where you can be the Daytona 500 car. Or the Cruisin' USA car, sorry. Tiana and I were talking about this the other day because the Simpsons episode with Elon Musk came on it, and like that's from a very different time, right? That was like 2015 or whatever. And like it's really, really cringy because you can tell he just bought an episode where he's like God, basically. He like wanted to be on the Simpsons, and they're like, we'll let you be on the Simpsons and you will be like actual Jesus Christ. And that's basically the whole plot of the episode, is that he's a genius inventor and he's trying to save everyone's lives, but Mr. Burns is being a big meanie. It's really hard to watch, but that was kind of the level of goodwill he had. Maybe not at that time, but like directly before that period, like early 2010s, when SpaceX like started up, he had all the goodwill in the world. It was like he just had to stop talking. Like he literally just needed to not be as much of an online loser as he is, and he could be president. There's this theory that like being affluent makes you stupid. And like, you know, it might be junk science. There have been studies done. I don't know how legitimate they are. They're probably not vetted very well. But if you're in a position where you never have anything you say or do ever challenged, that's got to make you like really stupid, right? Like if you just say like, I'm gonna eat concrete for breakfast and nobody's like gonna stop you, that's got to have some sort of effect on your cognitive faculties, right? If you just get into a point where you believe you're always right and everyone else is wrong because they tell you, absolutely, sir, you're right. Like it's got to like fuck with your brain a little bit, right? Like Emperor's New Clothes is the story of that, essentially, right? Also, I'm very close to hitting the life thing. I feel like I probably should have saved before. I can then put a couple more points in life. It's fine. But I do think I got to do the next tournament and then try and get my stuff for Korea soon. A couple extra points in life in this format, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Does mean I can take points out of something else. Skill, I can maybe just leave skill at 200 and keep it safe if I'm a little bit over. But yeah, I think we're just doing light drills now for the rest of its life, basically. Would Toronto be better to visit than Montreal? What's your goal? Like, what do you want to do? Montreal has much better culture, but Toronto's got 100 million banks built out of glass. If you want to see extremely tall buildings that are just floor to ceiling glass. Man. The banana! Tick, 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 boom. Oh man, I should have called this guy. Who does tick, tick, boom? Is that... Filter? It's not Filter. It's one of those bands that BMX kids were into. Matchbox 20 did not do tick, tick, boom. Saliva. It's saliva, right? Click, click, boom. It might be click, click, boom. It's no Bang Bang Boom, which was a song by the Moffats, which was a band that was basically like, what if Hanson was 10 years older? Or 5 years older, even. Yeah, Click, Click, Boom by Saliva. Saliva's a gross name for a band. I can think of worse. Also, my skill went up by 6? It's not too bad. You know what? I can do a meditate here. How much does this give me? 3? Okay, we're actually in business. We're in business. Okay, let's try errantry. Oh, my nature is bad. My nature is really good. I might have to actually tank my lifespan. My life is exactly where I need it to be. But I don't have explosion yet. Maybe I just get my stats up kind of where I want them to be, and then I start tanking my life. I think we're doing some sweet jellies. I also have 99 loyalty. I'll have to tank that at some point. There's some pretty easy ways to do it, though. Like, smoke snakes right now. One smoke snake would put me pretty close to the mark I need to be at. Okay, 31 nature. Ducken does the Gwimbly dance. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He does, kinda. Before I, like, bother maxing out some of these other stats, though, I do want to see if... Like, I'm gonna make a splinter save. I'm gonna make my one save with my defense at, like, 949. Or 712 after form. And then one where I just max it out. And I'm curious to see if it actually does do 0 recoil, like the calculator says it will. Okay, how much, like, what do I need for my loyalty to get this? Is it just minus 20? Okay, so we can get it right now. I'm afraid to go and get a lot of life right now. I'm straight up just gonna go right now. And if I lose some lifespan here, it's not the end of the world. I don't want to gain a lot of life here. How do I have more life? Did I do swim again without realizing it? Was I doing swim drills? I was doing swim drills. I'm so stupid. Trained him wrong on purpose. I trained him wrong on purpose in the wrong way, too. Okay, the ones are fine. When we fail here, that's fine. I can take 230. That's 15 more points in life. That's not great, but that's 15 less points I can put in something else. So I can keep skill at 200. And then power... I'm 15 over if I put my stats the way they are. So my goal here is I want to enter a tournament and see with my stats, even the way they are right now, if it's possible for me to self-damage with explosion. There's always a chance to roll 0, so it doesn't necessarily tell us anything. Okay, so you can still damage yourself. So it might be worth going to 999, taking points out of something else. Only does damage to yourself if you miss, yeah. Still in losers, is it called losers bracket? Yeah, because you're losing at winning, or you're winning at losing. So I can feed it Larox's, right? I can feed it Larox's to get its life down to 200 exactly, put those points into defense, and then make it fat to lower its speed. This monster just got stronger. Okay, now that I know I can just crank the shit out of my defense. Also, that doesn't lower my stress. That sucks. Now I know I can just crank the shit out of my defense. None of this matters anymore. And then I can lower my life. Okay, so I'm not going to get any stats for this. Good job. Fatigue is super high, but that's fine. We're in prime now. We're going to be able to crank up our stats pretty good. Pretty good. I got a peach. So my intelligence, I can turn it up. Duck's pretty big now. He's a big duck. I'm a big duck. I like sick fuck. Was that the Kanye song? I'm a big duck. I like a big fuck. You got blown up again. Come on. A topic. Which Gaboo subbreed do I like? What's my favorite Gaboo subbreed? I like Mad Clay. I think if you like Gaboo, you like all the Gaboos. There's like, I'm like, ooh, I don't like that one. Like, I don't think there's anything like that. I definitely understand having a favorite, but I think most people would probably agree with that, right? Like, if you like Gaboo, all of them are pretty good. These prime gains are not really doing it for me, brother. I'm gonna be completely honest. But our defense is almost maxed. We can move on to the other stuff. We don't have to do any more tournaments. All we gotta worry about is lowering our loyalty later on. Which monster you raised you think won the most tournaments? Have I won 2 tournaments with the same monster? I don't know. I don't even know if that's something that I've ever done. Mew? Yeah, it would be Mew. Mew is the monster I've won the most tournaments with. Because I've won 2 tournaments with Mew, and I've gotten second, like, twice. Wait, do I want my monster to be bad-natured? Maybe, eventually, yes, I think that's the play, is to get anger. But I don't need it to be angry right now, you know? I did some quick maths and realized that I probably don't need to go to 999. I kind of don't like what that does for how much self-damage I do. Also, my life is already over. My life is over! So my numbers here are changing a little bit. Okay, so that's, we're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, so those are our numbers roughly. So I really only got to get power and intelligence up. Speed up to 200, and that'll be it. Skill is already fine where it is. We won't have to touch that at all. I can't really do any heavy drills anymore, right? I'm basically done. We're just low rolling it for the rest of its life. He's in prime now, though. This is going to be a very low stakes kind of stream, though. Like, we're gonna get power up to 700, we're gonna get intelligence up to 700, we're gonna get speed up to 200. I'm just gonna keep them neutral for now, and I'll make a decision as we get closer to the end. Did go neutral because I decided anger wasn't worth the risk to gain back too many guts. I think for like something like my Ducken, it's probably okay. It also gives me a chance to use explosion multiple times, right? Which is a thing I think might be important. Monsters in 11 guts rate, lowest I can get was 12. Needed a good nature set that I couldn't get with Dragon Sub. I feel that. Yeah, I got a 12 guts rate, which is like exactly average. Okay, this is looking like a gold peach week. Puts me at 135. I'll be a little bit into the adolescent too, but that's fine. Power gains going up pretty nicely. Again, 712 is roughly what we're aiming for. I'm not going to be too precious on the numbers. I just can't go above 712. But yeah, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. There was a real-time race in Japan last night for Slate Percent, which is, you know, you beat Monster Rancher 1 with one monster, and then you slate them over to Monster Rancher 2. And it was really fun because it was 2 different strategies. One was hair, and one was Chlorogel, and both of them are, like, pretty solid. But what's really funny about the hair one is that it requires an additional year of training, but it's just so much more consistent that, like, you know, as long as RNG isn't super bad, it will probably be faster than the Chlorogel. It's just Chlorogel kind of needs a god run. And if you get the RNG, you know, you instantly win. So it was really funny seeing the Chlorogel just like cruise its way to rank S and then get really lucky in rank S. And then after that, just get like the most unlucky anybody's ever gotten. It was pretty intense. Either way, I don't need to raise my power anymore. We're okay. It gives me a little bit of wiggle room. I'll be over 3,000. We're in prime, we might as well just get speed up to 200. And then do intelligence last, and then we're good. How much money do you usually save to build a competitive mon? No rest method takes about 13k a year. So you probably need under 100k for a competitive mon. So we're definitely going to be spending the rest of our life getting intelligence. We're aiming for like 709 max. But we don't need to actually get that high. As long as we break 3,000, and we'll be about 10 over, so I think we'll be okay. Pyramid Blood Suction Gel probably does funny stuff in this format. I was talking to Macho, he was thinking of doing something like that. I don't think that's what he went with. I think he went with a plant, but The blood suction pyramid gel seems really funny. Okay, I need 12 points. I don't really know how to get 12 points here, because 11 is my max. I think we move away and into intelligence now, and then we come back to speed once I have worse gains. I remember old Monster Hunter Metropolis forums about how to make money, and it was like, have one monster in rank B in your freezer, and one monster in rank C in your freezer, and one in A in your freezer, and have them as like dedicated money-making monsters. And it's like, you can just have the one and just take the fame hit. Like, you don't need 3 different monsters. Just enter lower ranked tournaments. It's not a big deal. I do like the idea of just having a ringer for every conceivable tournament, but like max stats rank E, max stats rank D, max stats rank C. But it's just, you know, it takes way too long to do it that way. Dude, this guy loves his fish. Bird-to-bird communication, they're speaking the same language, literally. Talking to Angle about the Monster Rancher mood Sunday because I haven't raised a second specialist mon. Because I have to do breeding for the one I want, I just haven't been in the mood to do it. Dude, yeah, that happens to me all the time. I talk about it a lot on stream, to be honest, where it's just like, I don't really play Monster Rancher off stream. It feels a little bit burdensome at times, if it's not the game you're in the mood for specifically. If you don't want to like sit down and like watch numbers go up, it's an actual chore. If you want to watch number go up, you'll play RuneScape. Monster Rancher fills that same niche. It's really funny. One of the people who's in chat every now and then, but they always like are making fun of Monster Rancher, and we'll go raid them, and he's playing old school RuneScape, and it's like, brother, this is just mine with less graphical fidelity. Like, I don't know what you're getting so high and mighty about. Okay, we're Elder, so we're getting a little bit of drop in stats, but we're only about 120 away, so we're doing pretty dang good. There's been a couple of times where I have found a video or I found an article online talking about Monster Rancher, and they've just like ripped my script like word for word to like try and make a point one way or the other. And it's like, brother, you don't even know why I said that. Like, you don't know what I was talking about when I said that thing. Oh, I'm getting 6s? That's good. That means if I can get a 6 here. There we go. This is my 200 defense. Okay, so speed's done. Life, defense, power, all essentially done. Intelligence, all that's left. No, I mentioned it before, the best rundown comment for me will always be the guy who got mad at the mock video and ultimately decided... No, that's Kane. That's Lump Mage. The disliked and unsubsidized. Yeah, that's... That wasn't a real comment, but it's really funny. It's also like worded in a way that's like, it's really, really believable if you like are just like a casual person seeing it. So anybody who watched the video and like hadn't seen it before is like, oh, this guy's, or like isn't part of the scene would be like, this guy's pissed. What's up with that? I wasn't really thinking this through. That's fine. We're okay. Laroxes. I need 3 Laroxes. Let's buy some sweet jellies. And then we'll buy some powders at the end. Okay, we got some resting to do after this, though. Bad Boy Ducken, interesting prospect. The goal for this guy is we're making the worst possible monster we can, because the tournament we're making him for is loser stays on. So you want to lose. Oh, he's already maxed out. All right. He's got base nature of 60. So we've maxed out his effective nature, and now we feed him a Larox, and then we can take a look at the stats. And then the last thing I got to do is I got to make him skinny. So these are the stats. He has 3,002 for his stats. It would have been nice to take another 10 points out of life, but it's not that big of a deal. The last thing we're going to do, though, to make sure we do as much damage to ourselves as possible, is we are going to actually make our monster very skinny. Okay, Block Rock and Beak. Now take this big bag of amphetamines, yeah. She's pretty in a fucked up way, go. You guys don't know that song, that's fine. I like how there was like 2 like decently big songs from like all rock bands in the 90s called Amphetamine, both by Everclear and Eve 6. Guessing by his eyes, I guess I can guess what the powder is. It's I think it's like beetle carcasses. Okay, we got our build. We have Explosion live in slot 1. We're good. He's got 10 weeks lifespan left. Minus 100 skinny, so 723 effective defense, 250 effective speed. We're over 3,000. Our build is done. We did it. Okay. We're turning the fast forward off. These monsters both look like shit. I love it. Alright. Let's start a prediction. 44% chance on Fallen Beak. Oh, I got bolted. 31 damage. You hate to see it. He's just building up his guts. Explosion would be very funny here. The kick? 4 damage. Fallen Beak at 48. We miss. We miss those. We missed those. 159 damage. I'm still behind. Hell yeah. Alright. Okay, we hit the second one. Uh-oh. The second beak has hit the tower. No! I need an explosion. Refreshment hit. Hell yeah. Oh, we take that. This is the worst monsters, yeah. Run out the clock. I got guard up. I do half damage. Damn. I rolled really low on that. Did guard just mess up the recoil? Dude, it might have. I didn't think about that at all. I didn't think that's how it would work, because I don't think it's a defense modifier. I think it lowers incoming damage. If it just boosts defense, then I'm fucked. Beak thrust gonna do a little bit of damage. There is a random chance between 0 and, you know, max damage, right? So it's not like... Was Pax meant for this tournament? It was, yeah. Polar opposite of what she won. She won last game. Like, I explained why life would be good. Refreshment is just very, not a good use. I think I'm still losing. This one's close. This one's close! I could have used a kick. Woohoo! Alright. Alright, we're in there. It'd be nice if I missed. This thing's a menace to all things around it, yeah. Damn, I'm landing everything, eh? A couple of kicks here would be great. It would give me a chance to use explosion. Falling Beak. Brother. I can't miss. I need an explosion. Okay, the Pat comes out, it misses, pushes me out of slot 1. Mamma mia. Another Falling Beak. Okay, we got a miss there. I need an explosion here, though. Or a refreshment. Refreshment, please? Explosion, please? I don't have the guts for it. Beak thrust gonna come out. Refreshment, do it. Or bolt down. The foolery, the flutter slap. Gotta lose this. That's pretty funny. You know, I didn't do bad considering I missed like 2 attacks in 3 games. Let's do best 3 out of 5. It's really funny. Just landing everything. That's good damage. If you roll better on the first explosion, you do win. Yeah. I can do 200 damage to myself with the roll on explosion. No anger. Just no guts. Flutter Slap's gonna land for a tiny bit of damage. Game knows I want misses, so it gives you hits. Exactly. Didn't realize it wasn't guaranteed. Yeah, it's between 0 and max damage. I'm pretty sure it's an equal chance for every number between 0 and the max on the roll. It's not like a weighted probability one way or the other. Explosion here is bad. We're losing. Just let it go. The beak thrust misses. We're going to game 5, folks. He's losing pretty well so far. It's 2-2. That's kind of what I was hoping. Okay. Bad roll. I've landed 80% of my explosion attempts. Quite funny. Pat. No Pat. Bolt would be nice here. There you go. Here's some damage. Into the kiss? I missed though. No, falling beak. Explosion would be nice. Falling beak's not bad though. It's a good use of like wasting guts. One more bolt. Refreshment. Beak thrust is gonna land. You need to do something, Pixie. Oh no, I'm gonna lose this. Alright. So I lose 3-2. Not bad. Okay. Yeah, the sensor in this game is insane. Doesn't make any sense. It's got intelligence and it's got power. That flutter slap miss. Getting necromancy and stuff is like a pretty good play because those techs take a very long time to animate and they don't do any damage. Like they do technically do damage. Okay, I got anger. Maybe not what I want here, but I want to be able to use explosion. "20 seconds left. Alright, I got a big lead on potential damage here. Could be spooky. What's he gonna go for? Explosion? He goes for it. It misses. We got a game one, folks. We're gonna do first to 3 again. Man, I hope I don't pay out incorrectly during the tournament. Magic cards. This is a ghost litmus test. We're trying other entries in the tournament. Get my stone duck. We got guard up, baby. Falling beak with guard. I'm gonna do 0 damage. Misses anyway. Look at this. Less than 100. That's so funny. I still need an explosion to win here, I think, but he's doing his best to lose it, though. Oh, no, he went for beak thrust. Come on. You almost had 100. Fuck. Alright. Well, I need an explosion here, or I lose. 64 and falling beak. It's pretty funny. Oh, man. Locks him out. I need to try and intentionally lose messing with my head. I'm having trouble trying to gauge who would do better by doing worse. Yeah, it's really silly. Alright, game number 3. Early explosion might be the play. Give him the guts lead. Make him do more damage to himself. I don't know if that's how it works. Oh, come on. Beak throw's gonna land. Gonna do a good chunk of damage. I need the explosion again. My guy just doesn't want to do the thing. What are you gonna do? So I'm landing a lot. I've had like so much trouble actually landing shit. Getting withered here is really funny because it means I can't use explosion. Don't worry, I got falling beak on lock. I had thought the only issue with falling beak would be going under 50 guts, but I needed something. That's why I have anger, that's why I have guard. Falling beak has minus 11 hit. I can't believe it like keeps hitting. I couldn't land that many in a like actual tournament if I wanted to. There we go. We got the anger. We got a shot here. Of course, man. Of course. Come on. Sure. Right on, man. You did it. Come on, we can do explosion. I believe in you. Switch it to explosion, walk forward. Oh my god. We got a KO, hell yeah. Didn't miss a single fucking attack. Oh my god, dude. Hulk Hogan mission failed gift there. We lost that one 3-1. That's pretty funny. Alright. Womp womp, what are you gonna do?